So I think I tried to record this a couple of days ago, but then my phone died like 1 second into it because it was 10 when I hit record, and about 1 second later, suddenly it was 5. So now I'm actually going to do this as Driver Reviews is like currently used, but it's even quicker. He's not playing a character. Once again, cringe sort of intro, but nowhere near as cringe as the other stuff. It's just a car horn, and that's it. And then you get into it. I get that Witcher 3 at the time was a new game, but you shouldn't have made a quick review for Witcher 3 because it really deserves more than that. That's another thing, he does these videos in his high school. I don't know why. I really shouldn't have forgot what it was called, considering I'm wearing one right now. Do these videos like get me to whatever? The first Witcher game, which is understandable, but Witcher 3, my first Witcher game, was my sort of introduction to the Witcher series, so probably once over a hell of a lot of people, so that's fine. So far, everything he's said is perfect. It's a 100% accurate description of Witcher 3, except for the fact that he didn't mention that there are some funny moments in the game, but the funny moments are perfectly timed. It's not like Joss Whedon's Justice League, where it's in the middle of a bloody fight. That card game, Gwent, is so awesome, it deserves its own game. Well, it got its own game, and Gwent is great, but I can only ever get past the tutorial of those bloody card games. I've played Magic, I've done Pokemon the trading card game, Gwent, Orlog, and AC Valhalla, although that's not really cards, but you get the point. But yeah, Gwent is good. Yeah, he's only 10 hours into the game. That's nowhere near enough. What you should have done was, every so often, update your script and make it into the longest video you've ever done. You could do a thing where it uploads 2 videos every week, but really what he means is that you'll have a big video and a drive-through review. Yeah, so he's 10 hours in the game, so he still has another 41 hours to go of main story alone. It's not as if he was doing exclusively main story. He was doing side quests and all. So, I mean, like, the DLCs. Why does my stomach keep rumbling? Anyway, I mean, with that amount of time, he would only just barely beat the Hearts of Stone expansion pack. Just the main story of that. I don't think it's all in the retrospectives playlist. And it's loosely Crash Bandicoot, which I shouldn't have done, because he did Uncharted, which I have a hell of a lot more experience with, and it's probably the one that I have the most experience with in this series. So Uncharted, extreme amount of experience. Gex, 0. Sly, quite a lot. Max Payne, I have experienced Oddworld, the tiniest amount possible. Tekken, 0. MGS, same way as Max Payne. Crash, somewhere around Max Payne and Tekken, or Max Payne and MGS. So I was gonna do Crash because it was the shortest, but instead I'm gonna go to Uncharted because it is the most. It's one of the most experienced with. It's most I can talk about, but I'm not gonna do that yet because there's another series that I want to get done. In fact, there's another 2 because they'll be shorter. I understand why implemented this, but I don't like it. So yeah, Head and Block have their own sort of intro, which is once again cringe. This is the initial one, and then they changed it to a sort of more 8-bit version, I guess. This is probably the cringiest of all of them. It's called Tinker Time, which what it is that he just plays a game, and it's not good enough for a proper view. You know, it doesn't fit into any of the other series, so he puts them into this. And the intro for this one is like sort of non-copyrighted rock music in the background, high-pitched voiced screaming the name of it, and it's sort of the logo sort of circling while shifting through different fonts. Luigi's Mansion 2 is the first 3DS game he's ever played. I get you're more of a PlayStation guy, but still, come on. Like, I played Professor Layton, Miracle Mask, Mario 3D World, Crush 3D, etc. long before Luigi's Mansion 2 even came out. Despite the fact that I do agree or disagree with quite a bit of this video, there wasn't really anything to talk about, except for now, which is only like a minute before the end of the video, where he says that, oh, because the camera is placed back further than it was in the first game, then it should be called Mario's Mansion instead of Luigi's Mansion. What does that even mean? Ignore the Ahiko on the left there, but yeah, for this series, he has a verdict, which is like, if you've seen the iDubbbz fast food reviewer content cop, he talks about how they have all those reviews, like, I give this 3 bangings out of 5. I give this an unbelievable. Wait, that's, I didn't even mean to do that. I wasn't. When I ramble, I don't look at the screen. I don't know why. I don't look when I ramble, but whatever. So from what I'm gathering from this, because Luigi's Mansion I don't really have much experience with, and also I'm slightly biased, or well, I'm heavily biased because I love LM2. In fact, I love LM2 so much that it actually wanted me to start a YouTube channel to play it. I didn't do that. What was I gonna say? But like, no game before that wanted me, and no game ever actually wanted me to make YouTube videos playing it. You gave this commendable. I'd give it an unbelievable. I don't think I actually said what I was going to say about, what I've gathered from this video, and what I've gathered from this video is that with LM2, Nintendo sort of lost their balls, because I don't think the first game would have worked if it wasn't dark, and it was a risk to do that, because it was the first League title and the first GameCube title. This was before Mario Sunshine, but with the 3DS, or LM2, they just didn't do that. Also, I just want to point out, I've never played LM3. I've played a little bit of LM1 on the 3DS remaster, but LM3, I don't know what it is. I mean, I still have an absolute passion for LM2, despite the fact that I haven't even had a sort of interaction with it in, I think, 4 years. Because I played it when it came out in 2013. I saw a guy called Chugga Conroy, who I might get into with nostalgia, play the first game, but I couldn't get past the first couple parts because I just get bored every time I try and do it. And then I was really hoping for him to play LM2. But I just stopped watching him before he did it. And then in 2016, he did it. I stopped watching in about 2015 because he was playing this game called Xenoblade Chronicles, which was like 150 parts, which were like at least half an hour each, which is way longer than any of his videos before or after that, or any of his series. Eventually he played it, and in 2018, 3 years ago, I might have said 4 years ago, I meant 3, we were going to this thing, and on the way back, I just decided to look the man up, and I saw that he played LM2. I was like, oh my god. So now I'm gonna do his main series. I'm gonna do the Lego Racers video because that's the one that I do have a lot of nostalgia with a lot of them, but I think this one is the highest of them, if you know what I mean. And this one, once again, cringe intro. It used to be just a sort of splatter of the channel name with a sort of attempt of a posh, deep voice saying the name of it. But then it changed to a sort of awakening. And I'll just play that sort of awakening bit. And then the channel name appears, and got like flashing lights on it, lens flares, etc. And I think he actually got a sister to sort of say the name of the channel, and maybe himself along with her. Yeah. I didn't. Right. The reason why I stopped watching YouTube as much as I used to is because it just got boring. I would watch the same things over and over again, and eventually I was like, you know what? There's a bunch of great shows out there that I have wanted to watch, but I was just so busy watching all these crappy YouTubers, or these, well, just watching videos over and over again. So on like the 23rd of December 2016, switched to movies and shows, which has been one of the greatest decisions of my life. But because of that, I'm now understanding more of the jokes in some of these videos, and especially James, because he is a film buff. He has a lot of DVDs on a shelf, and I think this is a reference that facial expression there, I think, is a reference to Full Metal Jacket. However, I think this whole skit at the start of this video is a reference to Psycho. However, I haven't seen Psycho yet, but I know of the sort of what was it that his mum says? He would never hurt a fly, like that sort of monologue in the film. He's talking about like the great feeling of standing on Legos, and honestly, I agree with him. Like, it will hurt kind of, but it's a fine amount of pain. It's not too much, even if you're standing on quite a lot of Legos. I just don't understand like people talking about getting hurt by walking on Legos and all that. I refuse to rewind, but he stuck two pieces together, like sort of back to back. Also, it's irrelevant, but I watched because of the Sky Q box and all. And I have to watch Strike Back my granny's house because she has it free on demand, and she loved it. Although she kept on getting angry at the main characters because they kept on just not killing Michelle Yeoh's character. Which is weird because usually the bad guy is dead within like 2 episodes, but she's been alive the whole time. And even if you count her becoming a bad, her being revealed as a bad guy as her starting point, then it's 6 episodes. Or no, wait, sorry. She's in 8 episodes as a bad guy. She's in the whole season. The first two, she's a good guy, and then from three onwards, she's a bad guy. So this is weird. So Lego is sort of short for the whatever country Lego originates from. That language's translation of play well, and he's saying that's very fitting because he doesn't know anyone who didn't play well with Lego. Me. Maybe I was too old, although I think I was like 8 when I did it. But I played with Lego once, didn't like it. Why did you grow out a whatever that would even be called a chin beard? Like, why? It's not even goatee because you don't have a mustache. Why would you do that? That is dumb. I know that I think John has something similar, but just because John has it doesn't mean you should, James. Actually, I think he might be going for the Shaggy from Scooby-Doo look. Oh god, he's doing that. Something very similar to that face that guy makes in that Raising Corpse TikTok compilation thumbnail on YouTube. What was I going to say? Oh, Lego made Star Wars prequels look good. The Star Wars prequels are good. Let me just explain why he's looking that way. He's like, oh yeah, this will be great because they made be great for you because they made Star Wars look good prequels. Am I right? Gets closer. Pitches up voice. I said, am I right? And repeats over and over again because repeating jokes is funny. That's another thing he used to do in these main series reviews where he would like he would I don't even know. It's obvious how you're supposed to describe this, but for some reason I just can't do it. He would decide if a game gets slaughtered or salvaged. Basically, if a game was bad, he would shoot it with a gun, and if it was good, he would shoot it with a Star Trek phaser. So James actually predated that meme of like when someone turns 100 and they realize they can't play Lego. Because this was like 2012 or 2013. So that was before those memes came out. So there's a film reference. The guy from Kill Bill 2, which I've seen now. There's a spider on the ceiling. I saw a spider, but anyway. Yeah. So eventually he starts racing, and the countdown is like, oh, here we go, and very high pitched voice, and it reminds me of a very certain other James on YouTube, who is an animation YouTuber, who I might get into the nostalgia. But those animation YouTubers, I did watch quite a bit of them, and a little while after I got into them, I realized that they're just storytime YouTubers. But I was like, it's animated, so it doesn't count, which was just sort of justifying it in my head. But then eventually I was like, screw it, I'm not watching these guys anymore. And it was that, wow, that is relatable video that sort of pushed me to finally stop watching them. It's time to get real behind the wheel. Punk. I think the punk bit might be a reference to Dirty Harry. I don't understand what is going on. This kid, this guy's 17, or sorry, 18 at the time. I am less than 1 month away from being 17. So, really, I should look just under a year, or just over a year younger than him. But yet he looks way older than me. Why? Anytime he says the name Redbeard, it'd pop up like this image of a pirate with a red beard and a very confusing audio clip. I think it's a character called Redbeard screaming, but I don't know what movie it's from. Another thing he did was that he sort of remixed him swearing into, I don't know the name of the song, but it's the Beach Boys one where they go, I get around. Well, it might actually be the name of it. But once again, that's another meme that he sort of predated. So apparently, this is the first time he has salvaged the game. The first time that he reviewed a game that he liked. So that's another thing. Ignore the Ignite video there. I was just looking to see if it had the create option on it because I have a plan for that video. If you've seen the video, you probably know what I mean. But anyway, original categories. It's from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order all the way to Rascal Razors. There's only 199 videos out of 618. Wow, so he did. It is obvious that he permanently switched his content from that to the world of videos. I don't actually have enough time to do a retrospective because I'd like to do all three of them at once, and that's like close to an hour. So instead, I'm just gonna find something else to do until I have to go to bed. I just want to point out that his most recent community post was the fact that he's been fully vaccinated for a month and his testicles are the size of his head. James, what are you doing, man? Come on, you know that that's just a conspiracy theory that Nicki Minaj is promoting. So, this guy has not had his hair cut in around a year. Oh, right. So, what I thought that right. Let me just explain. On the 1 year, this is Brutal Missy, on the 1 year anniversary of his channel, of his first upload, he talked about, earlier this year, I celebrated the 1 year anniversary of me not getting my hair cut. I thought, like, how is your hair that long after not getting a cut when mine was mostly the same from November until August, which is when I got a cut. It grew until roughly November, and then it just stopped growing. But I think I realize now that it might have been already longish before he decided not to get a cut again.